Hi, welcome to Julius Bar. Today we're gonna mix a Dante or two. So the Dante, it's a tequila cocktail created by Dan Garnell at Happiness Forgets in 2018 in London. So we're gonna mix that, and then we are gonna mix a Mezcal Dante, which was suggested on Simon Difford's website by Matthew French. And that sounds like an interesting variation too. One peculiar thing about this cocktail is they use Kümmel, which is a cumin, fennel, caraway seeds flavored liqueur from Germany. This is my first time using this in a cocktail, and I'm curious to see what it tastes like. So let's get down to mixing. Let's start by squeezing some lime. But let's start with a simple syrup, rich simple syrup, 2:1, and we're gonna need 10 milliliters. As usual, my simple syrup contains a bit of brown sugar too. Just love the flavor. Then we go on with 20 milliliters of lime juice, 10 milliliters of Kümmel. This Kümmel, it's called Oldesloer. It comes at only 32%. So it's a bit lighter than what Simon Difford used. But in Japan we only have like two options, either this one that's lighter or one that's stronger. So if I find the flavor to be a bit lacking in the final cocktail, I might adjust the amount of this Kümmel liqueur a bit upward. Anyway, 10 milliliters of this, then 10 milliliters of green Chartreuse. I just advertised the green Chartreuse day, but isn't it really hard to find? How are we gonna make a cocktail competition when people cannot even get green Chartreuse? I have this much. It's gonna last me a long time, hopefully. Anyway, 10 milliliters of green Chartreuse. And we finish with 40 milliliters of tequila. I'm using this Campo Azul Blanco. I don't think it's available in Japan anymore. It was a really good deal when I bought it, but once it's gone, it's gone. It's nice and earthy in its flavor. And now that we have all the ingredients in our shaker, let's get some ice. And let's give this bad boy a shake. Let's double strain in our chilled coupe. And let's decorate with a basil leaf. Let's get a cute one, like this one. Basil is back, baby! And there you go, the Dante. Cheers! Nice complex smell. Basil, tequila, Kümmel, Chartreuse. Tasty! Oh, Kümmel goes nice with lime. Not bad. By the way, Kümmel is basically a liqueur that's done, I guess, like a gin, but only tastes of caraway seeds, cumin, and fennel. Those are the spices, and those are the only flavors that are in here. It's really straight. It's not like a gin where besides juniper you're gonna find different things depending on the brand. Here it's only those flavor. Yeah, like he has a kind of fennel-y like and cumin. Yeah, that's it. That's the flavor of this thing. It's a one-note thing, but it works well in this context. This is a good cocktail. I like it. But let me really quick make the Mezcal Dante so we can compare the two of them. So the Mezcal Dante is a really similar ingredient list, but it changes a few things here and there. First of all, we start with some basil leaves in the shaker. It says 3, let me put, these are fairly small, I'm gonna put 4. Then instead of simple syrup, we are gonna use agave syrup in the amount of 10 milliliters. Agave syrup one of my favorite. Goes great with tequila mezcal. I would use it with anything really, but it's most common in these Mexican flavored drinks. Then we go with 20 milliliters of lime juice, 7.5 milliliters of Kümmel, so slightly less, 10 milliliters again of green Chartreuse, 15 milliliters of tequila, and 30 milliliters of mezcal. I'm using the Ajal, which is the most decent and best deal of mezcal you can find here in Japan. It's good, it's smoky, earthy, it's from Durango, and I like it. Let's get some ice. Ooh. And let's give this bad boy a shake. Let's double strain in our chilled coupe. Nice green color from the basil leaves. And let's decorate again with a basil leaf. It's small but it's cute. And there you go, a Mezcal Dante. Cheers! Ooh, So this is the normal Dante, this is the Mezcal Dante. Let me have one more sip. It's really good. The reduced amount of Kümmel makes it blend perfectly with the other ingredients, so it's not so apparent. Depending on your taste, it might be good or bad. But let me go back to our first Dante 1 second. That's good too. I think I slightly prefer the Mezcal Dante. He had a touch of smokiness. The basil leaves inserted inside the shaker give the cocktail a nice green color and gives a tiny bit more freshness to the whole thing. I like the agave syrup touch instead of normal 2-to-1 simple syrup. The only thing you might want to adjust is the amount of Kümmel liqueur. Also based on the Kümmel you have. Probably if you have a stronger Kümmel, this is gonna be perfect amount. For my Kümmel, maybe like a few drops more. Let me up the Kümmel to what would have been a total of 10 milliliters. Because now I drank a bit, so I added 1.5. A bit of math done on the fly, approximate. And let me have one more sip. Yeah, it's good. Either way, really good. If you have all the ingredients, go for the Mezcal Dante. If you're missing something, you can still go for the normal Dante and have a great cocktail. But overall, I prefer the Mezcal Dante having a bit more smokiness, a bit more freshness, and the agave syrup, which I prefer in this context. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, share with anybody you like and don't like. Shake yourself one of these to drink, they are awesome. And hopefully I will see you next time. Cheers. So I don't know why the cocktail is called the Dante. Doesn't seem like it has any connection to what in Italy we call il poeta, just the poet. Dante Alighieri was the greatest. He wrote Divina Commedia, which is one of the greatest works of humanity. I would compare it in complexity and poetic achievement to the Well-Tempered Clavier by Bach. Yeah, that could be like just this immense masterpiece where you put in all the knowledge of everything that your culture had at that time, pretty much. And you do that following like a whole set of rules which are really putting some guardrails on what you have to do, because Divina Commedia is really structured in this really serious way. everything is in rhyme, everything like has 33 chapters for each of the 3 cantiche plus 1, which makes 100. It's like this perfection thing. And yeah, it's really the masterwork of Italian literature and worldwide literature, really. And it's basically the founding of Italian language, because Italian was divided in many small countries for the longest time, and actually nobody really spoke Italian until really recently, last 100 years. Most people were speaking dialect, and that's why Italian language, I think, evolved so slowly. People were not using it. So, from the time Dante wrote Divina Commedia, which was around 1300, to 1900, for 600 years, the Italian language really didn't develop much. In fact, one thing that's curious is that you can read Divina Commedia, especially the first part, which is a bit easier, and understand quite a bit still nowadays, which I don't think you can do with really old text, for example, from the English language. It's too different. Divina Commedia is still relatively close to nowadays. Relatively, it's not easy, but it's understandable in some parts. And that's because I really think the Italian language was not used. So it was just a literary language, people using to write stuff, but was not used by normal people, so evolved more slowly. In the towns of Italy, people just talk dialect, and Italy has 1 million dialects. Just travel as close as 50 kilometers and you already have trouble understanding each other's dialects. And as you go through the peninsula of Italy, you get all kind of stuff. And stuff influenced by Nordic countries, stuff influenced by the French, where I live, and the Germans. As you go down the peninsula, you reach some point where you have some probably Arab influences, but the Swedes were there too at some point, the Greeks, I don't know, all kind of people were in Italy around different times. And as people talk their own dialect, they develop their own language. In fact, I talk fairly proficiently my own dialect, and it's something that's completely disappearing. And if I say something in Italian and my own dialect, sometimes sounds really different. Like, let's say Dante was a really good poet, and in Italian I would say Dante è stato un grande poeta. In my dialect I would say Dante era proprio un bel poeta. So poeta is the same, the rest is not quite the same.